Last but not least, we're going to talk about Justin Herbert going into his third year. Can he lead the Chargers to the playoffs in the AFC Wild West? AFC West is projected to be the best division in football. Russell Wilson's now in town with the Broncos. Broncos are looking at that as well. We got our last piece, and this guy's going to get us to the Super Bowl. Davian, we'll start with you. Justin Herbert, monster season last year, throwing for 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns. Can he lead the Chargers to the playoffs?
Well, when fans look at betting odds for a Super Bowl or playoffs, I think those odds are going to be very high, and they're going to be up with some of the best in the AFC. The Chargers, they were kind of heartbroken last year with the scenarios of a tie, or can we go to the playoffs, Raiders and Chargers both in, or can we beat the Raiders and advance to the playoffs, knock the Steelers out? But I think the Chargers they've formed a very good core, a young core. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen's been a cornerstone for the offense ever since Phillip Rivers' days. Justin Herbert he checks all the boxes for an NFL quarterback. He can run, throw the deep ball, touch pass. He has everything you need to get to the playoffs. They have a good running back. They just signed Derwin James to one of the highest safety contracts, I think highest paid. So fans got to be optimistic in California, LA. I think that they have a very good chance. I think it all comes down to limiting the mistakes, making the big plays downfield, limiting the turnovers. Like every play matters in the playoffs. I think they have a good chance of making a deep run in the NFL playoffs this year.
Awesome. Great breakdown. Sean, your thoughts on Justin Herbert. It's year number 3. Does he take that next step and get this team to the playoffs? Maybe taking more of a leadership role. I just talked about the AFC West. I know you're laughing about it a little bit because it's stacked, right? So what's your thought process on Justin Herbert and leading the Chargers to the playoffs?
Oh, he better. I'm tired of hearing the Justin Herbert elite status, no playoff appearances. He's top 2, he's top 5. He's really good, and just like David said, I like his game. He can scramble. He's not a locomotive. He's not just standing in the pocket. He can scramble. He can throw on a run. He has a strong arm. I like it. The offense is definitely explosive, but I feel like this is the year. This is the year. No more excuses. You have the weapons. You got Mike Williams, arguably one of the best hands in the whole NFL. Mike Williams, I've said it. Austin Eckler is a multi-dimensional back. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. Keenan Allen's one of the best receivers in the league, definitely top 10, easy. So he has the weapons on offense. You have Joey Bosa there, Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's on the same team. Is this a Madden fantasy team? You know what I mean? So you got Derwin James as well. So you have the pieces. It's time to make the playoffs. I think this is when I say do or die. This is like it's now or never as far as let's make the playoffs this year. At least make the playoffs. Let's see what you can do from there. But I definitely think it's time. He needs to get them into the playoffs. No excuses this year. So I'm looking for Herbert to do it.
Great breakdown. You heard Sean. He's not playing with Justin Herbert in this Chargers team. He says you guys better make a playoff run or he doesn't want to hear anything from y'all in L.A. Zaria, your thoughts on Justin Herbert. Does he lead this Chargers team into the playoffs?
I 100% agree with Sean. I feel like the Chargers are so stacked this season that if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be like a what the heck moment. You had everyone on your team. You have Keenan Allen, you got Austin Eckler, and you got Mike Williams all on your offense. And Justin Herbert, and it's not that he's a bad quarterback. He's very talented. And I feel like it's more the fact that your team is so stacked. And it's just funny to think about it because they are such an underrated team. I don't think that people really consider them a real contender, unless if you really look at that offense and they just got Khalil Mack on the defense, adding with Joey Bosa. So that defense is going to be something pretty wild. And I feel like, but the thing is, the AFC West is so stacked. So it's like you don't really know because you still got the Chiefs, it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And we know that the Chiefs lost Hill, but it's not too big of a hit. And then you still got the Raiders that have Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, which that's going to be a really good duo to watch. And then Denver could be a dark horse in the AFC West with Russell Wilson and that offense. But I feel like the Chargers do have everything to get into the playoffs. It's just more of how every other team in the AFC West plays as well.
Great breakdown, Zaria. That AFC West, it's a monster. I can't wait to talk about them literally all season long. And I'm curious to see who the best quarterback is in that division and who the worst quarterback is. We're probably going to see a lot of great quarterback play. Eli, we keep talking. Everybody's talking about it. AFC West, stacked division, quarterbacks everywhere. But Justin Herbert, 5,000 passing yards, 38 touchdowns. Kid is a monster. Going into year 3, does he get the Chargers to the playoffs?
I'm jumping on the same bandwagon with Sean. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm gonna go one step further. You got to clear the whole team. Front office has to redo everything that they're doing. Get everybody. I don't know how long Khalil Mack is there. Restructure his contract for 1 year because there's no way. I would say I don't care about the division they're in, but that's one heck of a division. I wouldn't be mad if they got second in that division. But with the NFL, I think 2 or 3 years ago when they added one more team to the playoffs, if the Chargers aren't at least number seven, if they aren't at least in there, they have to make it to the playoffs. I don't know how else they can measure their success, because even in this division, if you're the worst team in a division, you have, if arguably probably the most qualified wide receiver group. I would say the Raiders can probably match that with Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams, but the most qualified wide receiver group. But on top of that, if the Chargers don't make a Bills-like run and making it to at least a divisional game or vying for like at least the last couple of seconds in the AFC Championship game, they need to make it that far with the type of defense that they have, first of all, as well. I don't know how they didn't make it last year. It might have been the injuries or something. I just know, like I was saying, bro, anytime I was playing on Madden Online and somebody had the Chargers, they were cooking both on the secondary, the front seven, excluding the linebackers, just the front four themselves. Joey Bosa is a problem. How is Joey Bosa? They have the best front seven to be able to compete against those same quarterbacks. So I think that their defense is built to be able to go against a Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson, who are both seasoned in the NFL and they're able to do stuff like that. But on top of that, your offense is not just run of the mill like a Vikings offense where everybody's all stand in and then you have to rely on the defense. The offense is ready to attack. The offense is ready to go down the field. Justin Herbert is ready to do that. I have no words. I'm sorry. I just got to jump back. The same thing with what Sean said. If it doesn't happen this year, barring anything crazy happening, if they're not in the divisional round and looking to make the AFC Championship game, everything's got to be cleared.
Well, thanks, Eli. Look, when I buy that new Madden, and I'm terrible at Madden, I'm going with the Chargers because of the all-star roster, right? So thank you for that. And wow, expectations is high in this group. Craig, your thoughts on the Chargers, the roster, Justin Herbert, and maybe him taking that next step. Is it time for him to make the playoffs? But the AFC West is stacked too, so I don't know. My mind's all over the place. Set us straight, Craig. What's your thoughts on the Chargers and Justin Herbert going to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think overall they have the best team in the division, mainly because of the defense. I think Denver has a better offense. I know they lost, I believe, Tim Patrick for like the entire year, but they still have a really good receiving core and an improved O-line and obviously Russell Wilson. But overall, I think the Chargers have the most balanced offense all across the board. Justin Herbert broke records within his first year in his career. And that defense, man, I mean, besides the Legion of Boom defense, this could be the best defense in like this generation of football. I mean, on paper, they are absolutely insane. So, I think the defense can get them there alone, but with Justin Herbert and that offense, I mean, I kind of agree with Elijah that like, there's no way that they, unless something crazy happens, that they should not make the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. I mean, that team is just so stacked, and I have huge expectations for them personally. I think they will win the Super Bowl this upcoming year, but yeah, man. I mean, I love Justin Herbert. He's one of my favorite players. I think he's easily a top 5 quarterback right now. And then the guys he has around him, and like I said, that defense is just monstrous. And so, yeah, I think they could sweep the Chiefs and the Raiders. The Broncos might be a little bit of a problem, but I haven't seen a team like this since the Seahawks when they were winning Super Bowls.
Wow. Craig, I want to ask you this. So you're saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. Division stacked with quarterbacks, right? Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert. Just maybe all of them make the Pro Bowl, right? Is he the best? Is he going to be the best quarterback in the division this year? Since you're saying Super Bowl, does that equate to him being the best quarterback in the division this year?
No, I think that has a lot to do with their defense. I think that Russell Wilson, I mean, I don't want to say blows him out of the water, and same for Patrick Mahomes, but they are clearly better than him. They're just like spectacular players and have been consistently their entire career so far. And not that Herbert hasn't, but I just think he's not. I mean, maybe it's just for like highlight's sake. He maybe doesn't have as many highlights and stuff like that. Can't, run with his legs as well. But I mean, yeah, overall, I do think that, I mean, maybe not Mahomes this coming year because he doesn't have Tyreek, and that was easily his biggest scapegoat, was just throwing to Tyreek. And with the pass rushes and the rest of the division, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be running for his life this year. But yeah, I would say Justin Herbert will definitely compete with Wilson and Mahomes, but I think those two guys are better than him in the division. But yeah, the reason I have them winning the Super Bowl is because that offense is balanced enough and the defense is out of this world.
Okay, great take. Candace, last but not least, your thoughts on Justin Herbert. I'm hearing. I just want to know about playoffs. I'm hearing Super Bowl. Craig said, "Forget playoffs."
He took me out with that one. I said, "Super Bowl. Hold on, we still got my Rams back here coming back to back. Hold on, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now, because Aaron Donald just signed a new contract. So what we talking about Super Bowls for?" But no, you know what? He's a great quarterback. Herbert tops off of him, but that division is scary to me. And I'm sorry. But that I got to go with Zaire. That dual threat, Adams and Carr, I don't see anyone getting past them. Then we have Russell Wilson, who looks absolutely refreshed after spending all his time in Seattle. He looks like he's going to come back and be the quarterback that took his team to the Super Bowl. And then Patrick Mahomes, he still has his tight end, his favorite Kelsey. So I really don't see Herbert making it past into the second round. I just think that division is just way too stacked. I mean, oh my goodness. To me, the Chargers, though, because I'm from Cali, they've always been the baby brother to the Rams. They're kind of like the Clippers to the Lakers. So I would be shocked to see them in the Super Bowl, much less in the third round. But I just have to wait to see, because I'm super excited about this division. I mean, Russell Wilson, the Devontae Adams coming in looking clean. So I'm going to play double advocate, and I'm going to say they might make it to the second round, and that might be it for them.
Okay, make it to the playoffs. A lot of great opinions. All I know now is, one thing I learned is that I'm picking the Chargers when I get this new Madden. That's one thing I learned.
Hey guys, I remember last week, Craig ended up saying LA Super Bowl, Rams Chargers. That was a hot take. So I remember Craig said that. So Jansen, when you got off last week, Craig said that. I remember that. So no, Craig believes it, and he makes some great points. So hey, we'll see.
Awesome. Any last thoughts from any of y'all? Any last thoughts, comments? No.
I really want to see how far Craig. I'm gonna hold you to that because you said Super Bowl, so I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that because my Rams, number one, we still have OBJ waiting in the cut, so we don't know if OBJ is gonna come back and sign another contract with the Rams and then have a breakout season. So I'm gonna hold you to it, and I'm gonna give you your props, and I'll eat. Well, I won't eat duck, but if I see the Chargers in the Super Bowl, it might be for the Clippers. So I don't know, but we'll see about that. We'll see.
How long you been around, Candace?
Well, you know what? I've been in and out with the Rams. My daddy is a Rams. Yeah.
God bless. I'll see y'all later.
Sean just leaves. Dang. Well, great show, guys. Candace, I'm sorry did you like that. Everybody did so well. Sean with the sign off. Man, let me finish it. Well, bye, Sean.
Is that bandwagon? Is that a bandwagon or what is it?
My daddy is a Rams fan from back in the day when they was back in St. Louis. So that's all I hear throughout the
family house. Counts. Family
You know
does
what? I
count.
need to be a Rams fan too.